If you could only have one superpower, what would you want to have?
You see, I've been asked that before and I've thought about this.
So, lovely to meet you.
And you.
First question, how did you get involved with the project?
I have been in the DC universe before as Sinestro, so I think Warner Brothers were kind of, and DC were okay with me taking on another villain, particularly as I hadn't been able to take Sinestro to the dark side originally. And the producer, Peter Safran, was somebody I'd worked with before, and I think he saw in the part when it came up that I might be a good match for it, so he gave me a call.
Chosen one. Oh, you're like a bad guy, right?
You literally did the opposite of what a superhero is supposed to do.
And without giving too much away, you're obviously a superhero, a villain with superpowers.
Yes.
So how excited were you to kind of explore that?
Well, that's the best thing, isn't it? I mean, you can be a superhero with superpowers, which is fine, but to be a supervillain with superpowers is great. You know, the fact that he is a proper match for the powers of Shazam is essential, because the balance of good and evil needs to be exact. The powers of the two need to be exact, otherwise you're never in jeopardy and you don't believe that one's ever going to be able to defeat the other. So to get to fly around, fire electricity out of my hands, have the sins on my side who manifest themselves out of my body is pretty cool.
If you could have one superpower, what would you pick? Everybody chooses flight. You know why?
So they can fly away from this conversation?
No, because heroes fly.
Well, you need your fake family to stand up for you? Hey! Man, sorry about that.
And speaking of superpowers, I'm sure you've thought about this already, but if you could only have one superpower, what would you want to have?
You see, I've been asked that before and I've thought about this, and speed is the one that I would like the best, because almost you can move fast enough that you become invisible, and if everything around you slows down and you can move quickly, people can't see you, so that kind of takes care of invisibility, and speed would automatically give you strength, so I think a lot of, you know, powers are taken care of in that one thing.
You've run from foster homes in 6 counties.
I can take care of myself.
When you're 18, give these people a chance, because that's what they're giving you.
And were you a fan of sort of comic books and those kind of things before you were involved with this?
I didn't know about Shazam, but I don't think many people do. It's one of the originals from 1939, and I think, you know, Superman and Batman and the other DC heroes kind of eclipsed Shazam over the years. But I did some research, found out about it, and it's great, because I think what it does is subvert the genre. So you have your normal superhero tropes, but in this one you've got a 14-year-old boy who doesn't know what to do with these powers. So it's funny, and I think it's time that these movies had a good breath of fresh air in them in terms of a good laugh, and this is certainly that.
This is Billy Batson. Make sure you make him feel at home.
They seem nice, but don't buy it. It gets real Game of Thrones around here. Dude, just messing around. You look at me and you're like, why so dark? You're a disabled foster kid. You've got it all.
And speaking about this movie, so why do you think that this is really the perfect film to be seen on like a big screen at Cineworld Cinema?
Because they're made for the big screen. The sound is created for a big room, and I think the experience of seeing it with other people, a movie like this, is really important. I think at home it would be a little different. When you're in a group of people who are whooping and cheering and applauding, and it's the kind of movie that encourages that, it's much better as a sort of communal experience. And also the technology has caught up with the vision in these things, so I think it's no accident that these films are being made now, because with CGI and, you know, the portability of camera equipment and, you know, the stunt capabilities that have exceeded all expectations mean that those things together make it an incredible spectacle, and I think you need to see that on a big screen.
Say my name so my powers may flow through you.
But I don't know your name, sir.
Shazam.
Are you for real?
Say, okay!
Shazam?
And then final question, to you personally, what's your favorite part about going to the cinema and experiencing a film in the cinema environment?
I think it's the communal experience. You know, I do a lot of theatre as well, or have done in my time, and I always talk about the fact that there's something special about an audience, and there's something special about being in an audience when you're watching anything, you know, a play or a film, and I think that's my favourite thing, the fact that you're going and you're watching it with other people. As long as they don't rattle their crisps and eat sweet wrappers and make loads of noise, as long as everyone's quiet,
Yeah.
then it's a good experience. But if they're whooping and cheering at the film, which people do seem to at this one, then it can be fun.
You're like a bad guy, right?
You have bullet immunity!
I'm bulletproof.
You're dead.
Sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.